Yo, what's poppin'? Back like we never left, BDA, and goddamn right, we got a video coming. A video is here. I haven't made a video. I can't tell the last time I made a video, but you know, I feel like it was time for a video. I want to talk about this recent chapter. Not just the recent chapter, but a bunch of the things that's been happening, and I wanted to get my thoughts out there just because, you know, hey, shit, it's been a while, you know? Specifically, I want to talk about Luffy. And Luffy, I don't think Luffy actually unlocked the same level of Haki that Katakuri has. Well, let me specify. I don't think he unlocked the same type of Haki that Katakuri has. Granted, we do know it's observation Haki, that is, you know, that's clear. However, from past experiences, we can kind of deem like, okay, it's gonna be something different. Before I do that though, I want to give you my thoughts on the recent chapters. Just, you know, just give my thoughts overall on how everything's been playing out. I know a lot of people hate what's been happening. You know, it'd be interesting to see how many people in Japan feel this way. One Piece rules in Japan, and they feel a lot differently about One Piece. Well, I don't know about a lot differently, because we talk about One Piece for like 5 hours straight, so we're pretty fucking passionate as well. It's literally 50-50 on people liking a chapter or hating what's going on. This is partially due to like how they've hyped up Big Mom in their minds, but that's kind of Oda's fault, right? We do know how Oda operates, where he doesn't really care about power levels and shit like that, but from us, we kind of care about that shit, but we also care about story and character development, and it hasn't been that prevalent in the story, at least in Whole Cake Island, in some people's minds. Whole Cake Island on a scale of 1 to 10 for me so far, probably like a 7.5, just because it's been some slow moments, but it's been some hype moments as well. I mean, I love the Katakuri reveal. I mean, even the Big Mom going fucking ape shit and going to a new form, apparently. I don't know. The question that's being asked a lot and being thrown around, like, why put ourselves in that situation? Why do you put the Straw Hats in that situation if you're gonna have to Asspull them out of it? Now, Asspull. The meaning of Asspull, that's something that's thrown around without much meaning, and you know, I'm not gonna get into the definition of an Asspull right here. And my boy Unexpected Wonder made a video about this, and I somewhat agree with his explanation, so you can go check out that video. I'll actually put that in the description down below. That's a very good video. Shout out to you, Dub. Regardless, we always compare Big Mom to Whitebeard and what we saw from Whitebeard at Marineford. Granted, that is a different situation where Whitebeard, his life was in jeopardy and his crew's life was in jeopardy. Here, the Straw Hats, they're on the defensive regardless of how you feel about it. They're running away from Big Mom, where the Whitebeard pirates, they were on the offensive, but it was a much greater danger at Marineford, you felt. Is that a problem? I think that could be a problem, that we don't feel that great danger that we would normally feel in an arc. I'm trying to think of the last arc where it was like a lot of danger. Probably Sabaody, because before that we had Dressrosa, and Dressrosa, it was kind of, you know, I don't know, the danger didn't feel as crazy because we know Saba was there, and Fujitora, he wasn't really against them. But in Sabaody, with Kizaru and how he decimated the Straw Hats, I mean, Rayleigh came in at the end, but before, we didn't know Rayleigh was going to come in because we saw Kuma, you know, he sent those guys away, and we were like, yo, what the fuck is going on? I mean, at this point, though, I think that, yeah, probably Sabaody is the last time you felt true danger, and you were truly fearful for the Straw Hats. I mean, in Punk Hazard, when Luffy got captured by Caesar Clown, it wasn't much danger either, because, you know, Luffy could take care of Caesar Clown pretty easily, and then, you know, he had his whole crew with him. In Whole Cake, the danger hasn't been there. Like, the threat of Big Mom has been looming, but for the most part, it just withers away every time. Like, it's been at least 3 or 4 times where Big Mom was about to decimate the Straw Hats, and then all of a sudden, something happens, and then fuck, you know, it's gone. From either Zeus and Prometheus being, you know, just nuts, to Big Mom just not accomplishing what she said she was going to accomplish. I don't know, this just keeps happening. What the fuck? In spite of all of that, I think the arc has been fine. It's been a good arc. I mean, I don't think it's the best arc in a new world or anything, but it's decent. It's not as trash as people like to say, because trash is something that's thrown around for everything, you know. As far as the problems that I see in this arc, I mean, they revolve around the story and development. We had this discussion in the Reverie Part 3 recently, where we talked about actually everything that's been happening and progressing, and I think the crux of it all kind of stemmed from the fact that too many characters. When we think about Big Mom and her kids, I think she has 85 kids, right? So Oda is going about it where he wants to introduce all of Big Mom's kids in this arc, and he's had some characters, he's kind of saved some characters, so he's like, okay, when can I introduce his characters? With like Flambe, this past chapter, which was Katakuri's fangirl, or his biggest fan girl, or his biggest, she wants to be the, I don't fucking know, but she's a huge fangirl of Katakuri, and she's the queen or king of the fan, bro. Indeed, we may get an explanation as far as like how she ended up in that world and how everything played out, but it just seems like an effort to prolong everything that's happening. We're on chapter 891, and Oda, I don't want to say he's prolonging for 900, and we just did discuss that as well, but maybe he is, maybe he's not, but it seemed like some things are just being dragged out, but things have been dragged out before. Think about Dressrosa and, you know, the whole birdcage thing. Think about Punk Hazard and the kids running around. This is what Oda does. Think about Oda's position. It's a lot of stress on him to deliver week after week after week. To keep a fan base engaged for 20 plus years is a feat in itself. But at some point, we have to hold One Piece accountable. And yes, I do admit that some points in One Piece recently, it has been lackluster. Weird, like the Luffy Katakuri fight. I mean, that's the whole point of this video. But the Luffy Katakuri fight, I'm somewhat disinterested now. I don't care as much as I did in the beginning, because when you think about it, from the beginning of the Luffy Katakuri fight, we were really hyped. I mean, I was hyped for Katakuri because, I mean, I just loved his character at the beginning of the fight, and I wanted to see Luffy grow. I wanted a good fight because I've been saying this from the beginning that this is a training arc for Luffy. It's somewhat a pseudo training arc because Oda doesn't really do training arcs because he doesn't have time for that, apparently. But he did find time to introduce some more characters. So Luffy is learning and growing based on his fight with Katakuri. So where do we go from here? From the Luffy Katakuri fight, Luffy has somewhat awakened his observation haki. I mean, the thing is though, his observation haki that Katakuri is using, he's seeing literally into the future. You can tell from his future sight, he's seeing what's going to happen in the moment that is happening. Well, not in the moment, but he's going to see what's going to happen. That's his future sight. With Luffy, it's a bit different. Yes, this is just the beginning of what Luffy's doing. Even though Katakuri said, even though it's infrequent, he's seeing it into the future just like me. I don't think that's the case. For Luffy, when we saw the flashback with Rayleigh pretty much said that every attack has a will, right? And from that, I pretty much went back, and we did this on stream. I went back and watched the Rayleigh video, and Rayleigh closed his eyes and he ducked like everything the elephant was going to do, or I think that was a fucking elephant. He ducked everything that he was going to do, and I don't think Rayleigh was necessarily seeing the future. I think Rayleigh was just sensing where the elephant wanted to, what the elephant wanted to do. But Katakuri, he's trained his observation haki so much that he has an image of what's going to happen. He has a video playing in his head. I guess that's a layman's way of viewing it. Exactly of what's going to happen. Luffy doesn't have that. Luffy is sensing the presence or the will of Katakuri and where things are going to appear. So Luffy's is more instinctive, where Katakuri's is somewhat visual. I feel like observation haki is like, do you know the routes to Sabaody where all the supernovas took like a different route? That's what observation haki is. It's like, it's one thing, but from it you can go to different paths. So in my head, I've kind of come up with like different observation techniques and different observation, I don't know, types, I suppose. So with Rayleigh, it seems like to be the instinctive type of observation haki, and we're going to have the visual type of observation haki where we have Usopp and Fujitora, but those guys, they're different. Usopp is seeing different shit than Fujitora, but then you have Katakuri, who's literally seeing into the future. Granted, these just could be advanced stages of each, but they operate differently. Katakuri, again, he has an image. When we saw when Katakuri took the guy out with the jelly bean at the beginning of it, Katakuri said everything that the guy was going to say before he said it. So Katakuri's seeing things that's happening. You can't sense, well, I suppose you could sense what someone was going to say, but he's seeing everything. I don't know if you can sense that far. He's future seeing, where Luffy is future sensing. He's sensing the will of Katakuri. Where is that enough to throw Katakuri off? I mean, that remains to be seen. So far, Oda is playing up that Katakuri is going to fall on his back, and that's going to throw off his, you know, his concentration, because that's been revealed as well in this arc. I mean, it was revealed in Skypiea. Shout out to Commodore Laz for pointing that out. I saw it on Twitter from Laz. That you have to be focused to use observation haki, and then if you're not focused, you can't use it. And Katakuri even confirmed that when Luffy said, hey, I can beat you. Katakuri confirmed exactly what Luffy was saying, that he has to be focused to use that's his trump card, it seems like, other than the Galactic Donuts, which are fuck with heavy, but that seems to be his trump card, right? So as far as Luffy surpassing Katakuri, everything around that, I mean, it's still up in the air. It seems like observation haki and growth there is happening. I mean, it seems like his haki is blooming. He's unlocked another level of observation haki that it's pretty goddamn impressive if you think about it. And also he's being shot at. We also have to mention as well, because that is a part of it. He's dodging bullets and he's dodging Katakuri. Well, I don't know if he's dodging Katakuri because his ass is fucked up, but he's sensing Katakuri now. He's starting to adapt. That's Luffy's specialty, adapting and using his instinct. Luffy concentrating and seeing exactly into the future, and that's Katakuri's thing. Katakuri is more precise. Luffy is more instinctive, where Luffy, he closed his eyes and he let his instincts roam, where it's like, all right, I saw where Katakuri is going to attack and I attacked there. That's it. I mean, it's going to go deeper, where Luffy's going to be able to sense what Katakuri is going to do, which is going to put him on the same level observation wise as Katakuri. But then Gear 4th is physically more stronger than Katakuri, so then that evens the playing field. It just depends on how soon he can knock out Katakuri. Does he have help? I mean, if Flambe can get into the mirror world, can somebody else? It depends on how she did it. We don't know if she was there before. We have to wait until Oda explains that, but so far, I mean, the arc is fine. Let me know your thoughts, though. Do you think Luffy actually unlocked the same type of future sight that Katakuri has? Because I don't think so. I think he unlocked, you know, another level of Haki, but for the most part, it's sensing will, where Katakuri is literally seeing into the future. Granted, it could be the same type, just an advanced version of what Luffy has, but they seem to be on different wavelengths as far as like how they operate. But Katakuri, again, he's seeing the future. Luffy is sensing the future. He's sensing a glimpse, not sensing a glimpse. He's sensing what's going to happen next. He can't, I don't think he can see as far because Katakuri is just more advanced in that area. So, but guys, let me know what you think. I haven't made a video in a while. Let me know if you like this video, if you want me to make more of these. I mean, I fuck with it. But guys, I appreciate all the support I get on YouTube, and I'm starting to stream a bit more on Twitch. So check out my Twitch channel, Brago D Ace. You can find me on that. Of course, subscribe if you have not liked the video. That definitely helps a lot. And shout out to all my patrons. I appreciate that so much because that has helped upgrade the channel so much. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Like the video, subscribe again, and I'll catch you guys later.